Hey, on today's Lender Series, I'm bringing on John Birke with Movement Mortgage. He is located down in North Carolina. Him and I have kind of become friends over TikTok, of all things. We've been reaching out and talking. We've never met in person, but he seems like an amazing loan officer and one that can provide value to you. He's out of North Carolina. Again, my name is Sadler Priest, and hope you enjoy this interview. So let's bring him on. How are we, Mr. Birke?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. Am I saying that right? Just Birke?
Yeah, Burke is it?
With Movement Mortgage, right on. I was saying it was odd. We met each other off TikTok of all things, kind of back and forth on TikTok, and I liked your content, and then we started talking on Facebook and stuff. So I think this is great, making connections across the country. So
No, this is awesome. I appreciate you having me on here, and this is always fun. I love any chance to work with the creator and just kind of see where things are with everybody in the market and in social media. And so this is awesome. I love that you're doing it.
absolutely, content is content, right?
That's
And
exactly right. Whatever
hopefully
you
at
can
some
get.
point it provides a little bit of value while you're shoving it out there, right? So
100%. Yep.
hey, man, I got the three questions, right? The first one is, who are you, man? Maybe you can introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, so my name's John Birke. I work with Movement Mortgage as a loan officer, and you know, describing me is difficult. Probably because the first thing to describe me is I'm all over the place, right? I got my fingers in a lot of pots all the time. I'm like, it's just it's a lot of fun to like try and chase me around, but something that I guess if I had to choose one thing about me to talk about is my what we just had a baby just a couple of months ago, and it's our first kid, but also our I think 16th. So we were a foster family for
Okay.
several years, and um, it kind of changed everything about how I kind of see the world, really. And
Yeah,
because
that's beautiful, man. Yeah.
you're looking through the eyes of kids that are in the most difficult space that they've ever been in, or probably ever will be in,
Right.
and you're there to kind of pick the pieces up and show them that they're valuable and show them love and and not just support the kids, but also the family that they're coming from. And um,
And that's
I could go on
while
forever about
still
that, but
trying to keep your own stuff together, right? You know, it's
right, exactly.
crazy. Yeah, I
And
get
try
it.
to run a business at the same time and like all of this stuff. It can be overwhelming, but in the most rewarding way of anything I've ever done. So that's the kind of the thing that has inspired me for the last several years to push hard, keep going.
Down your
And
why,
and
right?
we're not even in a formal foster care setting right now, but we still go to meetings about foster care programs that are coming up. We I help a family member that is currently fostering some of her family, and so
Yeah.
staying involved with them on a very regular basis, and so still
I
very
know it
involved.
does take, a special person to do that and to give of yourself. So I mean it's beautiful you've done that, and I'm sure all those children, hopefully you've touched their lives. So I mean that's what's important in life. You found your why, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's our why, and we stay connected with almost all of the kids that we that we fostered, even for a relatively short amount of time. We keep in touch, and we stay connected with the families. We see them on a regular basis,
That's
so
great.
it's been nothing but good.
Cool, man. Cool, cool. Well, it's great that we got to know you. Was good in depth. It's great. I love when I hear people's why and why they're doing these things, not just
Yeah.
selling houses or whatever. So, hey, and then to go into the next question that I have is it's an interesting segue. I want to know about your products that you have with Movement Mortgage, and I don't think we touched the last one. What states do you service too? Because I know you're not. You're down in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm kind of on the border, North South Carolina. So obviously, I'm concentrated on those two states for the most part. But movement is everywhere.
We
We
have it up
serve
here. Yeah.
yeah, right. We serve every state. And even if somebody's connected with me, and wants to work with me, I can still do the process. Essentially what I do is I loop in somebody that's already licensed in that state. And so I can still run the process and do everything start to finish. It's just, it becomes a team effort at that point, and getting the right people, connected. But
Exactly.
directly, I serve North, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia. Um, I also I'm from Arkansas, so I serve Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and I actually just recently got my Wisconsin license too. So that was kind of a
Congratulations.
one-off. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what products are you guys either pushing right now, or do you guys like? You can talk about all of them, but is there one that you guys have that's really helping consumers and people, get into homes right now?
we have a number of things that a lot of people won't do. So everywhere, like, we do everything. We go from multi-million dollar jumbo loans, all the way to double wide manufactured housing. We can, and because we're also a broker, so we can do land loans. We can do DSCRs for investment properties, 10% down vacation properties. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that we can do. A lot of what sticks out lately, to me, is a lot of kind of specialty stuff. I think we've rolled out like 30 new products this year. It's insane. But one of them that just came out, or actually it's just about to come out, is we've got a down payment assistance program that's in-house that we're about to start. Now we work with NC Housing and House Charlotte and South Carolina Housing, and they have their own down payment assistance
Yeah.
programs, which we love doing. But now we've got our own that we're about to roll out. So I can't talk about details yet, but I'll have it out there
Yeah.
pretty soon, I promise.
No, that's great. And down payment assistance, as we know with the market, just consumers where we're at, there's not much inventory, rates are
Right.
high, and it's just how it's been the last couple of years. Things have been tight. So those down payment assistance, I think, will really help a lot of people get in there.
That's been a
Um,
big thing for us, and it's not about selling as many loans as possible. It's about making home ownership possible, and that's one of the ways that we do it. There's a lot of other stuff that we do, but that's been a pretty cool development that we've been working on for a little while now.
you get the best feeling from that entry level. You always do.
Exactly,
So they
exactly.
just love it so much more. And then the final question I always do is, why should we pick you over, or why should the consumer, the client, homeowner pick you over the next mortgage rep that might be out there?
So, if you don't mind me standing on a soapbox for a minute,
That's what it's here for, man. It's your moment.
and not for myself. I do a good job. I big on communication. I like to make sure that the client is informed every step of the way. I'm very involved, very hands-on. And that's just my style. But there's 100,000 loan officers out there that can do the same thing, right? What's different is not just my personal why, but also Movement Mortgage's why. And that's very different than most companies. So Casey Crawford, our CEO, has always had a heart for education, right? So our goal is home ownership, and we make that happen in a lot of ways. We were the number one purchase lender in North Carolina for last quarter. Last year we were number, I think, 2 or 3 rural development housing
Right.
lender for the entire country. And those are tough loans. So like that's no joke. But we started even earlier than that. We try to make home ownership possible really early on. And so Casey's vision was education. And I think it's 49% of all of our profits that we make here at Mortgage go to the Movement Foundation. And that goes to fund community programs, but mainly schools. So that's kind of our why, is we build movement schools. That's go Mavericks. That's what I'm wearing right now. And
Oh, wow.
what we do is we partner with kind of higher risk, more neglected communities, and put these charter schools in, and these are publicly funded, so it doesn't cost the kids anything.
Right.
And we just do everything better. We build the school way cheaper. We have the best educators in the area. We have better food than than the schools do. We've hired a legit chef to put together a really healthy, sustainable meal program for these kids, who a lot of times, don't eat as much, other than at school.
Yeah.
Just because they're from really hardworking families, but they're just in a tough position. And education is a way to close the gap on home ownership, because it doesn't just take a certain level of financial, prowess or understanding, right? It's also, opportunity, right? So if you're from a neglected community, you're already behind, right? Like you've
I agree
already got
fully.
to
Yeah.
work 10 times harder than the kid, down the street, just to get to where they are, right?
Right.
And that can be on a lot of things. That's, socioeconomic. It can be, racial disparities, gender inequality. Like there's a lot of things that can hold somebody back, and making education more accessible, is one way to do that. And it's not just that we make these schools better and less expensive and better nutrition. They perform leaps and bounds ahead of the other schools in the community. And making that accessible is a big deal. And you're going to hear more about us, because the plan is over the next 10 years, we're going to build 100 of these. So we've got 4, I think, right now in Charlotte, and we're about to open our 4th one, I think, this upcoming school year. And we got 100 more coming. So all over the country,
That's
we've
great,
got
man.
big plans.
It's great you found a vehicle like for your why, right? You help
Right.
children, and I was kind of like that too. It's tough to just one person. If you can make a bigger impact on something like that, where you can help 100 people at one time, I try and do as much as I can here in the community as well, but you can only do
Sure.
so much, right? So, um, anyways, no, that's great. I love the talk with you, man. And I'll get your number and all that stuff on there for anybody who wants to get in touch with you,
Awesome.
pre-approved, or just have the conversation about where to start with real estate, or to buy your first home, or even refinance, any of that good stuff. So,
Absolutely.
hey man, I appreciate your time. And like I said, your contact info will be on the bottom.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Good to
All
be
right,
here.
buddy. Appreciate your time.